The Fly Jock has landed in Dayton.
The Tom Joyner Morning Show is in town broadcasting live, and Rhonda Moore is at WROU Radio, the third stop on the show's Ohio tour. Hey, Rhonda.
Good morning. Well, Tom Joyner has taken his radio show on the road, and he has been traveling all around the country. And this week, he has made several stops in Ohio. Today, of course, he's here in Dayton, and joining me now is WROU's radio personality, Faith Daniels. All right, so how did this come about to get the Fly Jock here?
Well, I tell you, we pulled some strings. Okay, no, we didn't. What Dayton has done, Dayton has let Tom know that he is number one, not only in our hearts, but in our ratings as well. The bonus for us is that they took an evaluation of what our stations are doing or what his affiliates are doing all over the nation, and they chose the ones that are really performing well. More importantly, Tom just loves people, and he wanted to get out and meet and greet and touch and feel everybody that he possibly could, and that's exactly what we've done, and we're super excited. Last night was a wonderful opportunity for him to get into the heart of Dayton and Trotwood at Taste Creative Cuisine, and we had a blast, and I mean, it was definitely capacity. In addition to that, because Dayton is so steeped in funk tradition, Zap has stopped by, and we have friends that are still being played on the radio but live in Dayton, and they've come by just to say hey to Tom and to hang out with us like they normally do.
Yeah, we have a lot of musicians that are from the Miami Valley that have made it big, and Tom Joyner and his sidekicks, Sybil and Jay, were talking about that this morning on the air as well.
Absolutely. When you look at Sun and Fazo, Lakeside, and Zap, you have to know that every song that you hear on the radio now, they've stolen a little bit from that funk that is immersed in Dayton, and it's just coming up from the ground. I don't care where you go.
And so earlier this week, Tom was in Cleveland, and yesterday he was in Toledo. He leaves here and he goes to Columbus.
He'll go to Columbus, and then following that, he'll be in Cincinnati. But I tell you what, nobody loves him like Dayton.
Oh, that's right, and we love him here. All right, well, Tom Joyner will be live on the air until 10 o'clock this morning on WROU, and then he and his co-hosts, Sybil Wilkes and J. Anthony Brown, will be speaking to students at Central State today, and that's from noon until 1. And we'll be back at 8:05 and have more from the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Back to you guys.
Well, this radio show runs in more than 100 cities and reaches millions.
It is called the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and Rhonda Moore is live at a local radio station where he is in town today. Right, Rhonda?
Good morning. We are at WROU, and yes, the Tom Joyner Morning Show is broadcasting live this morning from here in the Dayton area, and they're live on the air right now behind the glass wall right there. And they're going out to more than 100 different radio markets around the country with about 8 million different listeners. And joining me now is John King, and he is the GM here at the radio station. All right, so how excited are you guys to have the Tom Joyner Morning Show here?
Well, we're kind of out of our minds. I mean, we're really excited. Obviously, this is a huge show. I'm personally a big proponent of the show and a proud affiliate of the show. But I mean, we want just a deeper relationship with our audience, so to feel more local, to feel more in touch with all of our radio stations. But in the case of ROU, since we do have a nationally syndicated show, the opportunity for our listeners to see, hear, and kind of touch, if you will. We have done a lot of selfies in the last 24 hours, so yeah, it's a big deal for us.
And they're talking a lot about Dayton while they're on the radio, so how good is that for the city? What does that do?
Well, I think everybody should be proud of where we live, and I think that this is just another example of why this is a great community. I mean, they've talked an awful lot about our music heritage, which is amazing when you think of it. Secondarily, you know, the philanthropic efforts of Tom Joyner's Foundation with their donations to, you know, and scholarships to all sorts of African American students in college, but specifically with Central State. So, I mean, there's a real local connection here.
Yeah, Tom, he does a lot of things for his listeners. They also have things like Real Fathers, Real Men, Monday Morning Moms, where they highlight good fathers, good mothers.
Right. I'll tell you what, my perception is that Tom Joyner is literally one of the 5 main spokesmen for the African American adult. I really do believe that, and I believe that he's an influential guy. So it makes us, again, even more prouder that he's in the House.
All right, we're glad to have him here this morning. Now, Tom Joyner will be live on the air until 10 this morning on WROU. He and his co-host Sybil Wilkes and J. Anthony Brown will be speaking to students at Central State today from noon until 1. And we'll be back at 8:50, and we'll have more from the Tom Joyner Morning Show. Back to you guys.
He's been known as the hardest working man in radio.
Talking about nationally syndicated DJ Tom Joyner. Rhonda Moore is live at WROU this morning, where Joyner has been live on the air all morning long. Hey, Rhonda.
Good morning. Yes, he's been live on the air here at WROU since 6 o'clock this morning. He'll be going until 10 o'clock this morning, and he's here with his sidekicks, Sybil and Jay. And while he's here in Dayton, he has been talking a lot this morning about some of the issues that are taking place here in the Dayton area, including the shooting of John Crawford. And joining me now is Faith Daniels. She's a radio personality here. All right, so talk about a little bit what Tom was talking about as far as the John Crawford shooting.
Absolutely. As the program director for the station, it's always our first mission to go along with what Tom's original programming is. What's going on here in our area is extremely important to us, and it definitely needs to be on the national platform, and we wanted Tom to address it in his own way, which I think is consistent with Tom's classy, absolutely direct way of addressing it. It's very important to all of us. It's very top of mind to all of us. Having Tom in our market right now could not have been any better timing for it, and definitely to be able to bring it to national awareness, because what's going on, Tom addressed it very clearly, along with Roland Martin and Al Sharpton on the national platform. And we also offer community focus on our own station on Sunday mornings, where we open our doors and our arms to the community to come in, sit down, let's talk about it, because it definitely has to be a conversation that we are definitely interested in continuing.
All right, and one of the other things he was talking about, of course, is Dayton music and all of the good bands and groups that have come from Dayton, including Shirley Murdoch here. All right, so you say you've known Tom for a long time.
Oh, for many, many years. I'm born and raised in Toledo, but I've been in Dayton since about 1984. And anything that's going on in the community, I try to make sure that I make myself available. And so I'm just really just honored to be a part of such a mass collective of so many artists that are Ohio born and raised.
And you said one of the things that surprised you sort of was that Tom has your music in his collection?
In his personal collection, yes. So that's how we made it to the top.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Now, Tom will be live on the air until 10 this morning here on WROU, and he and his co-hosts, Sybil Wilkes and J. Anthony Brown, will be speaking to students at Central State at the Dayton campus from noon until 1 today.